What's up, sports fans? This is the Sports Bar, and man, we're just two people talking about sports for the love of the game. My name is Bryce Parker. I'm joined with
Simon Bucks.
And let's just get straight into it, man. Simon, this is your team, so, gotta come to you first.
Unfortunately, it's my team. Unfortunately.
What do you think about week one so far with the Commanders?
Week one. Okay, first, I want to start with Jaden Daniels first. I think he had a solid game. He showed off his running ability. Passing, he kind of struggled. Not really struggled in the passing game, but receivers couldn't really get open, so it was kind of hard to really judge to see how good of a passer he could be at the NFL level. I will say that he did miss a good deep ball to Terry McLaurin. He definitely wants that one back. As far as the defense, the secondary was trash. They
you
could
can
not
say that again.
And Emmanuel Forbes, Benjamin St. Juste, those guys, they need to be not in Washington next season. I will say that. Yeah, I'm not really feeling them as corners. How about you, man?
Jaden Daniels, I will say that he was an on-time quarterback. He was on schedule. He was very accurate. We got to have the explosive play with Terry McLaurin. He ran the ball very well.
Yeah, he did.
So I'll say, not a bad showing, especially against a team that did make it to the playoffs last year. They won their division.
Yeah.
Decent opponents. But defensively, my God. We got to, the defensive backs, they got torched the entire game. If the Commanders are going to win some games, they have to be able to stop a cold.
Yeah.
And right now, the floodgates were open. Baker was hitting. I think Baker was 24 for 30. You can't let a quarterback be that efficient.
He threw a party on us, an absolute party.
You can't have a quarterback that's going to be that efficient
and
think we're going to win games. That's just not going to happen.
Yeah, and also another thing that I can't stress this enough, the Commanders need to make tackles. There were multiple times where Baker Mayfield was able to escape a sack. It was frying me.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is not a mobile quarterback at all.
It's not. He is not known. He is not a dual threat quarterback by any means. So the fact that we was missing tackles and he was allowing us to run on us too and throw the ball on us, it was definitely a bad week one showing for us, man. Bad week one showing for us.
And you got the Giants coming up this week, and I cannot stress this enough. This is a must-win game. A must-win game.
Bro, if I lose to Daniel Jones, I think I'm gonna crash out. I'm so serious. Because we are better than that Giants team. We were better.
Yes.
We were honestly we were better. We shouldn't have had a losing record last season. But as far as this season going into week 2, we definitely should win this game. We have talent. We cannot lose to Daniel Jones. We cannot lose to Daniel Jones, man.
And for the people that don't understand who Daniel Jones is, this is a man that has not thrown a touchdown pass in a calendar year. The last touchdown pass he threw was September 17th. Today is September 12th of 2024. A whole calendar year without throwing a whole touchdown pass. You're playing a Giants team that is bad, that will probably be the second or maybe even worst team in the NFL this upcoming year. And, even though the Commanders, you're in a hard rebuild, new coaches, new coordinators, new quarterback, new ownership. This is a brand new team. So, yes, there are going to be some growing pains, but you think this is a game if you think that the Commanders are not going to win a lot of games, this is a must-win game for the Commanders.
It definitely is. Because I get all the offseason moves. I get the quarterback. I get the hype. But I do think we're still a couple seasons away from really being true being true contenders. But I feel like with all the offseason moves we made, Jaden Daniels, Frankie Louvu, Bobby Wagner, we drafted some nice offensive linemen, Brandon Coleman, we drafted Johnny Newton, we drafted all these guys. I feel like we should win between 7 and 9 games. I'll be fine with 7 and 10, and if we made the play and miss the playoffs. That's better than last season. Where last season I definitely don't think we should have won 4 games. We were much better than that, and I feel like with the improvements this roster made, can we at least get the 7 wins, Washington? Can we at least get the 7 wins? That's all I'm asking for, man. Between 7 and 9 wins, but I'll be happy. I'll be cool with 7, man. I'll be cool with 7.
And then just going back to the game, you think with this matchup with the Giants, you should be able to get some pass rush against a bad offensive line and a quarterback that takes a lot of sacks and turns the ball over.
For sure.
Another Daniel Jones stats because, Daniel Jones has thrown more pick sixes since he's got paid than he's thrown touchdowns. This is a man that's getting paid $40 million a year to throw touchdowns to the other team.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like I think his confidence is shot at this point. Like,
Yeah,
I remember I
yeah.
saw a video a couple of days ago where the Giants fans, they waited until long after the game was over, and he was walking out of the tunnel, I guess, to his car, to the team bus, and Giants fans were booing him because they were so just fed up with his performance in week one. I think his confidence is shot. I definitely think we got to take advantage of that because I think it's a well-known fact that this might be his last season in New York, and the Giants are probably going to be in the market for a new quarterback next season. So I definitely like, in all seriousness, this is for sure a winning game, a winnable game for sure, man.
And then with Daniel Jones, I think it has to be his last year in New York. Like, your own fans are hate watching you in the number one media market in the world.
Yeah,
it's just bad. It's a bad showing.
Yeah.
But must-win game this week.
absolutely.
And then pivoting to I-95, the Ravens, a toe away.
A toe
away from beating the defending champs. And I mean, for Lamar, it's the first game back of the season. This game is going to have playoff implications. You're playing against the guy that it seems you can't beat.
Yeah.
You're having a great game. Last drive, just what happened?
Just couldn't get it done. Well, a couple things I want to point out. The Ravens I definitely think they need to utilize Derrick Henry more because I feel like they
run the ball.
They used the ball. They
Please
used him in the first
ball.
half. It seemed like everything was going cool in the first half. They was feeding him. He got a touchdown, but in the second half, they made it seem like he wasn't even on the roster because he got little to no carries in the second half.
Yeah.
That's one of my takeaways. Another thing is too, the O-line definitely needs to lock in because, like we talked about off camera, Lamar had 122 rushing yards.
Yes.
Part of that was because the O-line couldn't stop a nosebleed, so he was kind of running. So he was running for his life. So
Exactly.
yeah.
And I think with the Ravens, it's really just we have to figure out, as the Ravens, what is your identity going to be?
Yeah.
Outside of Lamar Jackson scrambles and throws a jump ball to Isaiah Likely and he makes a Sports Center top 10 catch. Like, it's really just, like, right now, Lamar Jackson and Isaiah Likely making plays. And we have to figure out, what is your identity going to be? Are we going to run the ball downhill, or are we going to be more zone read where you see Lamar Jackson, pulling the ball and running outside? But you can't be both.
Yeah.
If you're going to get as much production out of Derrick Henry and you paid him a lot of money in the offseason, you got him over here, run the ball downhill.
So you think they should be a run-first team?
Yes.
Okay.
Run, and it should be power run.
Yeah.
We have when I went to Ravens camp, that is a large man. That's a
big
very
dude.
large human being. Like me,
That dude is huge.
I'm tall, right? I'm tall. Derrick Henry makes me look like a very small man. Very, very, very small man. Like me and Derrick Henry about the same height, right? But he makes me look like this.
Bro's like 250. Like it's crazy.
It's like a linebacker touching the ball.
Nah, for real.
And he's still very fast. Like,
Yeah. It's
that's
crazy.
a weapon you have to utilize.
You got to
have
use
to.
it.
I personally think you need to be run first. You need to run downhill, and then that'll open up players like Rashad Bateman. And why is Rashad Bateman still disappearing?
Yeah, Rashad. He's not a very good receiver. I remember I saw Lamar Jackson. I remember he was hyping up Rashad Bateman. He was like, "Yeah, I expect him to have a good season." Woo woo. I mean, that's what you're supposed to say as a quarterback, but. What is he in year 3?
It might be just lip service. At this point.
At this point, because he's in like year 3, year 4 right now, and he just hasn't really panned out in Baltimore. Like I definitely think
they should have got a better receiver in the offseason.
Yeah, they should have. But
Zay Flowers disappeared too.
Yeah, Zay Flowers, and speaking of Zay Flowers, did you see that missed throw he had to Zay Flowers in the end zone?
Oh my God, that was a game winner.
Yeah,
that was a game winner.
And Lamar said, I remember watching the post-game interview, and Lamar said that there was some miscommunication that he was trying to throw it to, I think, Isaiah Likely, but the pass was way off for Isaiah Likely as well. So I don't know if that was cap or if he really was trying to or really it was miscommunication. But one thing about Lamar, I think he definitely needs to. One of the knocks on him is that he can be inconsistent as a thrower. So he needs to tap in and lock in with his coaches to be a more prolific passer. He's definitely one of the best quarterbacks in the league, no doubt about it. But
hands down,
yeah, for sure, he's top 3. Like it's probably him, Mahomes, and Joe Burrow. But yeah, it was me. One of the things he definitely has to lock in and become a better passer if this team really wants to reach that ultimate goal, which is winning a Super Bowl.
Right. Game was on the line. He tried to throw it to 2 people. Missed them both. Yeah. All right, we're up against it. Boom. We got to go. Scores fast. All right, Bills, Dolphins, who?
Tonight, I'm gonna go with the Dolphins. Tua, he has not had the best record since against Josh Allen and the Bills. I think he's 1-6.
Yeah.
If I had to pick who I think can will their team to victory, I would say Josh Allen. 'Cause I'm not the biggest Tua guy. I mean, I'm happy he got paid. That's cool. You got the bag, but I'm not a big Tua guy. I got the Bills tonight.
All right, babe. Gotta go quick. 49ers, Vikings.
49ers, Vikings. I think I got the Niners with that. The Niners, they're one of the best all around teams in the league. It seems like they have no weaknesses, as they shown against the Jets on Monday night. Score. If I had to say a score, I would say, let's say 30 to 20. 30 to 20.
All right, probably gonna be the game of the week. Hometown guy. All right, Bears, Texans.
Bears, Texans.
It's gonna be the last one.
Oh man, Bears, Texans. CJ Stroud versus Caleb Williams. I'm gonna say, I think I'm gonna roll with the Texans. I really like the Texans. They're one of my picks to make it to the AFC Championship game this year. I think there's a lot of pressure on Caleb to kind of live up to the hype, and maybe I'll try to outplay CJ Stroud. So I got the Texans in that game.
I agree with the Texans too. I just think too much firepower, man.
Yeah, for
sure.
sure.
That's all the time we have today for the Sports Bar. Catch up with us next week. See you.
Peace.